My name is Sean O'Sullivan. I'm with a company called Rococo Software, which specializes in Java Bluetooth technology. This very short presentation is about something called Gig Monkey, which is part of another project, which I'll explain in a moment, and has a Facebook connection. And basically it's a social music app focused on live music in particular. So we came up with the idea of let's build an app focused on live music, around the live music experience, or adding value around gigs in particular. If you are a regular gig goer, you know that you go to the gig, the lights go down and the band comes out. One of the first things that happens is all the phones come out and people are in front of you holding up their phones, recording really bad versions of whatever is happening. And it's very interesting that this is kind of universal all over the place. It's the kind of instinct to share right now as something is happening. And the original thought around Gig Monkey kind of came from that. There's an impetus and a kind of a passion around live music that would be good to tap into, both during the gig, which is where we initially started, and then we kind of broaden it to what about sharing things that happen before the gig, like looking for tickets, getting to the venue, etc., during the gig and also after the gig. Have fun, rate encores, rate bands, rate songs, etc. And part of our objective was also not to recreate what's been done already, because a lot of social music apps out there, a lot of them do the tracking of the bands you like and the music you like and the streaming of the music you like very well already. But there is a little bit of a gap around the attendance at live music just at the minute. We are working in Ruby on Rails, so the core of it is based in Ruby on Rails. There's a Gig Monkey server sitting out in the cloud on Amazon EC2 with storage on S3. So the main moving parts of the app are Gig Monkey server, Ruby on Rails, website served by Ruby on Rails. There's 2 client apps that we've developed so far, a small J2ME app that will run on some mobile phones, and an iPhone client, a very early version of which we just got out this week that runs on the iPhone. And then there's 2 apps. We did an app first that ran in Bebo and connected to the Gig Monkey server. And then just in the last about 4 to 5 weeks, we've done our first version of a Facebook app for Gig Monkey that talks to the server as well. And we connect to the back end, so we connect to primarily Facebook and Bebo to know about your friends. And we use Last.fm at the moment to know about the music you like. So we're kind of trying to not recreate stuff that other services do well already. Last.fm, if you're familiar with it, does a great job on the music you like and events you like, etc. So does iLike, which is now the music app in Facebook, but it doesn't have tremendously open APIs to get at yet, to get at the data, whereas Last.fm does. How you're meant to use it is on the mobile. This is our J2ME app, which if you're familiar with J2ME apps, they look a bit pants, to be honest. They're quite difficult and we're not UI people really, so they're difficult to make look very well. But basically, you can log in, see your friends, your upcoming gigs. You can see something called shouts, which are things that your friends have shouted, which go up to the social network. You can declare an interest in groups or gigs. You can say, I'm going, I have tickets, I have spare tickets, I'd like to go, I don't have tickets. And all of this stuff gets poked up to the relevant social network for sharing with your mates. And you can take some photos. You can take photos, share the photos up, and also comment on the photos. So that's the functionality in the client. Same thing on the iPhone app, exactly the same thing. Of course, it looks better. It's hard to write an iPhone app that doesn't look good. And this is the very early, this was started about 7 days ago, 7 working days ago, based against the same APIs. So the guy who's doing it his brief was, do the same thing as we did with the J2ME app, see your friends, see gigs, etc. But of course, he got some stuff for free, so he started adding, this is Bruce Springsteen. He added a map button, because now with OS 3.0, he could take the address, which comes already as Simmons Court from Last FM, and stick it on the map. So he got a bunch of things for free, which is able to pop in. Then we have a little app in Facebook. Take a photo, it makes a Gig Monkey album for you, and pops photos that you take with the app into the Gig Monkey album, right? So there's 2 photos I stuck up, and here's just a little comment I made. And obviously one of the key things we're interested in is the virality of sharing your interest in live music and getting other people to try the app. In terms of trying to offer up some useful learning from the experience so far, we did a Bebo app first. Bebo APIs are very, very similar to the Facebook APIs. A number of them begin with FB_ method call. Some of them are exactly, in fact, the Facebook APIs. The difference is there's not a load of documentation around, where Facebook is quite well documented at the moment. We use the Rails plugin for, there's a Rails plugin for everything, of course. We use the Rails plugin for Bebo called Beboist. The Gig Monkey app in Facebook isn't yet, by a long shot, what I would call a native-looking Facebook app. It actually looks more like our Gig Monkey app on the web, rendered inside Facebook. So it's actually a little bit jarring when you look at it first. The client-server piece was the same. The permission piece was a little bit different. By permissions, I mean the granularity of permissions that Facebook enables is more detailed. So, for example, it has kind of several low-level items which you can explicitly tell an app is or is not permitted to do with your data and elements of your data and classes of your data. So one of the side effects of that is when you're adding the app with the set of things that we wanted to get access to, actually there's a little bit of a walk through the trees. You get asked about permission for this, and then permission for that, and permission for the other. And as every asking for permission is a potential drop-off point for users adding the app, if this was an app that I was trying to launch to 1 million people tomorrow, I'd be a little bit worried about the set of things that the user has to go through. We used a Rails plugin called Facebooker. The guys are very complimentary about Facebooker. One of the side effects of using Facebooker was that it also had support for Bebo. So actually we could go and dump Beboist and get less code to test. OAuth is something that we use quite a bit in different places. So when you pull in your music preferences, we do an OAuth delegation out to Last FM to allow us to grab your music preferences and the events that you're interested in from Last FM. Facebook doesn't quite have OAuth support. It has something different, which is kind of equivalent. We had a first version of the basics working in maybe 2 days, 3 days, something like that. Once we'd found the right Rails plugin, I think was the key thing. And then there was finessing around quite a few points to try and make it an easier user experience on the way in, adding the app and collecting the permissions that we asked for a lot of stuff, for you to grant us a lot of stuff so we can do what we want to do. And we're not really expert on this yet, but we're getting a feel for the things that you can push to the feed and the wall, which is what we're particularly interested in. We're not interested in sort of spamming. We are interested in judiciously using the activities that you can pop in there to catch the attention of your friends and get more people to try Gig Monkey when it's out.